UK police have announced a massive new policy that the UK public has absolutely been begging for to help stem the tide of crime. They are investigating illegal streaming. More specifically, tracking down illegal streamers of Premier League and abroad matches that are not supposed to be illegally streamed. This broke on January 10th that police plan to visit weirdly exactly 1,000 homes in an attempt to crack down on illegal Premier League streaming. This obviously led to a bunch of memeing and a bunch of fun about getting arrested for watching Newcastle against Southampton or something. And honestly, one, Newcastle's pretty good this year because of Saudi Arabia. This message is approved by Ronaldo. And two, what's actually happening is much stupider and almost certainly a scare tactic that has been paid for by the companies that feel they are being robbed by the practice of illegal streaming. When in fact, it's the UK public that's being robbed because I can watch a good number of Premier League matches entirely for free. And you might notice, I'm not in the UK.
The United States of America.
Let us start off on Sport Bible to tell us what actually is happening. All that was actually announced is that police said they would visit 1,000 homes, but they actually got the addresses of these homes from a sting they ran on this UK-based group of people that were making Fire Stick-like devices that you could then plug into your TV and illegally stream not only Premier League games, but movies and stuff, which is different. It says as much right here on advancedtelevision.com, which is one of the 80,000 websites that wrote an article about this because it has a really catchy headline. Over 1,000 individuals have been identified following raids by West Mercia police in the UK, Midlands, against a UK-based illegal streaming service that supplied entertainment sports content via modified boxes. So all of the people that are on the list to be raided are presumably using this service that was provided by a UK-based group of people. So if you do not have a freaking Fire Stick of illegal streaming, you are also not under threat, which means if you're logging into a random website to watch Southampton against Newcastle, for example, you're fine. So any unfounded fear that was created and obviously was intentionally trying to create that kind of fear that you're, illegal streaming to get around Sky, BT Sport, and Amazon Prime Video, you're okay. Once you get past the actual headline, some of the stuff the police said about these investigations, given what police can also be doing, is hilarious. Let's start with Detective Matt McNellis, who takes great pains to tell you how many taxpayer dollars are being spent to track down illegal streamers. We're able to deploy cutting-edge digital tactics to identify and detect people who break the law. You wouldn't steal a boat. He then circled back to the one point that the UK police seem to be circling the wagons on, which is often illegal streaming is used to fund serious organized crime, and the West Mercia cybercrime unit's committed to interdicting this source of criminal revenue and emptying its thesaurus and reducing the harm organized crime groups can do to our communities. You could just also find the organized crime groups, but the argument to reduce funding to organized crime groups does check out. But there might be a simpler solution than what you're doing. Be able to watch the games for free somewhere. I don't want to be that guy. I do. Detective Chief Inspector Gary Robinson also went to great lengths to tell you that there are risks of data theft and malware, which describes the internet. But essentially, the police is saying that it's going after illegal streaming to attempt to shut down funding for organized crime in the UK, which is exactly why it's visiting over 1,000 homes of people who are not running the illegal streaming ring. And they're visiting over 1,000 homes of people who don't have access to what they were using to illegally stream before. This would theoretically make them the least threatening group of potential illegal streamers in the UK populace. Obviously, I don't know how this specific Fire Stick works, but you are actually visiting and serving cease and desist papers to people that are not affiliated with the funding of crime that you have already shut down with a raid, which is a good thing. But you are now on the way to go and track down these 1,000 or so people that were illegally streaming off the Fire Stick, which I must say is somebody involved in the world. You gotta be a real hardo to be streaming off of a Fire Stick type device. And then in every one of these articles that I've been forced to read, they mention that they are cooperating with a company called FACT, F-A-C-T. And their chief executive, Kieran Sharp, is quoted as saying the same thing in every article, so bonus points for journalistic integrity, that they'd like to thank the government and everybody for working with them. In that, piqued my interest. I did not expect FACT to be a significant part of this video. I didn't know who they were, even after I saw all of these stories starting to break. But they're the people that got all of this started, and that's why they have become so interesting to me. First of all, FACT's website is incredibly hard to find. It is fact-uk.org.uk. It was not easy to find, mainly because I Googled the word fact first, and that didn't work. That wasn't the only reason, though. It's a fairly well-hidden website. Once I found the website, I did some reading, and I honestly just got mad. This is the About Us page on the website, and one read of it makes it very obvious that this company was either created by or is a shill for companies that want to increase their stranglehold on their whatever content they are producing. And this company is obviously specifically employed to get the attention of law enforcement, because all over the place they talk about their ability to provide discreet, professional, and high-quality outcomes that are guaranteed based on over 3 decades of experience, and they mention law enforcement all over the place. They also say they meet the needs of governments, and they meet the needs of private organizations. So what it actually looks like is happening here, because the police are all crediting fact as being a major part of the investigation that has allowed them to knock on the door of over 1,000 homes, is this fact group has been acquired by Amazon Prime Video Services, BT Sport, any collection of people that feel they are losing money on the illegal streaming stuff. And then this company has gotten the attention of the police by doing the vast majority of the legwork and then just handing it to them. And they really are discreet. They live up to that. The main guy of this company, I was desperate to find him. I can't. He pops up as a speaker at a thing for copyright in the role of the advertising industry, but even there, he doesn't have a picture. So what fact is and who Kieran Sharp is just this giant, weird mystery. They're like this private technology army sweeping down to keep you from watching Newcastle v Southampton. If you go to their investigation screen, I was totally hoping to find details about their past investigations, but I guess that wouldn't fit the discreet mold. You find out their team actually has former police officers on it, and they're a trusted partner of national and international law enforcement. That is their favorite thing to advertise. Heck, it's a one-stop shop. They even supply your expert witness. Cool. What is this? Covert and overt investigations? Dude, come on. You track down copyright stuff. SEAL Team 7. Freeze, mister! And if police are working with a company like Fact, which is a branch of private companies trying to influence law enforcement, right? You know the talking points of, like, it's funding organized crime, right? Like, you know those talking points are just coming through here, and then just out the mouth of the police spokesperson, right? I mean, there's a ton of things funding organized crime. I know that. I just like watching documentaries on Netflix, but not all of them can you hire Fact to chase down. And look, I am aware that illegal streaming is illegal. I mean, it's quite literally in the name. But devoting these kinds of resources and PR time and relying on a company like Fact that is clearly just shilling for private companies that are trying to get the police's attention is obviously just a giant scare tactic. And if you didn't buy one of these Fire Sticks, you are completely fine. And even if you did, they're only going to come to your door and tell you to stop using it. There's not a whole lot for them to stand on, and illegal streaming is just not going to stop anytime soon until they stop making you pay to watch the Premier League in the country the Premier League is playing when I don't have to pay to watch it.